guys, what is going on? It is Dunbar Snackbar here with NBA 2K13, and this is a celebratory video. So a little off the wall, a little bit different. I'll be playing as the Seattle Supersonics in this one because I was originally so excited that the Supersonics were going to be coming back to Seattle. This was the team that I watched growing up. So I'm like, I'm going to go ahead and play as the Seattle Supersonics and go up against the Sacramento Kings, the team that's moving from Sacramento to Seattle. So I know I am playing at home with their away jerseys. I used to have a green Sean Kemp jersey, so I just kind of wanted to relive some memories and just play this. But anyway, a lot of things to celebrate here in this video. First off, 4 million views. That is absolutely awesome that I've been able to achieve that. Of course, I can't do that without you guys, so a big thanks to all of you for watching the videos on a consistent basis and letting me hit that. And I'm hoping within the next few months, too, I'll be able to reach 5 million, and then that'll be a big celebratory video right there. I did reach the 10,000 subscriber mark, too. That is the second thing I want to celebrate in this video. So the fact that I've reached that, it took a month longer than my goal, but that's okay because that's still pretty close in the grand scheme of things. So I'm hoping by the end of the year, I've got another 5,000. Who knows? Maybe I could even shoot for 10. We'll see how things go. What I'm doing, though, for 10,000 subscribers is I put a survey together for you guys to fill out. So in the description below, you guys will find a link to a survey that just asks you questions like, hey, what series do you like? Which ones do you not like? What can I do better? What do I do well? Stuff like that. So since I've got 10,000 subscribers and I've only had like 25 people fill this out, I don't think 25 people are the best indication of 10,000. But I do see some trends in there on what you guys would not like to see, because honestly I feel like I've got way too much going on right now, and going into the new season here and everything, when the show comes out, I want to change some things up on the channel. Already with the new intro, you can see I've started to change some things up, and the intro isn't even done yet. I kind of want to get you guys' opinion on that. So 10,000 is awesome. Again, thank you for that. My wife was 10,000 too, so I was like at 9,999, and she's like, can I be 10,000? So I'm like, yeah. And so she subscribed, and that was really cool. Because I got to see 10,000 actually happen, which is awesome. Biggest thing I want to celebrate, though, in this video is the fact that I am a dad now. And I know a lot of you guys wanted to know, like, what it was like and stuff like that and how I feel. So majority of the video is actually going to go to that. So to kind of give you the story of what happened, I mean, on Thursday, last Thursday, no, 2 Thursdays ago, my wife, we had a false alarm. She thought that we were going to be having the baby. Ended up not being the case. I felt bad that I tweeted that out. But anyway, so nurse said, 2 to 3 times for a first-time mom that's going to happen. Where you think you're going into labor or something and you're really not. So I didn't feel too bad. But we'll see what it's like, though, when I get the bill. But anyway, the next day we went to go see the doctor, who is a good friend of mine, because I grew up with his son. His son was one of my best friends, and this guy is one of the most loving and giving people I've ever met. Like, he paid for me, his son, who was my friend, and another one of his sons, with him to go down to spring training and watch baseball, for a week. And he did that twice. I think like 01-02. Wow, what a great shot by Sean Kemp. So I mean, that was really cool that he was able to do that for me. I never had to pay a thing, but he's just a really, really cool guy. So when it came down to us having the kid, I'm like, I want this guy to be our doctor because he's one of the best in town, and I knew he would take care of us. So anyway, we went to go see him, and they did an ultrasound. And they're like, all right, so we think the baby might be like 8 pounds, 15 ounces, which is a huge baby. My wife, though, she's like 5'2", so she's not the biggest person in the world. So that baby was really big for her. So the doctor's like, we're going to have to induce you, meaning we're going to put you into labor. And, oh, Sean Kemp again. Wow. But, yeah, he's like, we're going to go ahead. We're going to put you into labor, and we're going to just have the baby come out naturally and stuff like that. So we were all prepped for that. So, 6 o'clock at night on Saturday, we went to the hospital. Jeez. Have you seen Sean Kemp? So, go ahead and give her a pill. And, she starts going into labor, but, it's not like they give her the pill and she's like, oh, my God, this baby's coming. No, not like that at all. So it was like 9, 10 o'clock in the morning. She really started, having some contractions and some pain. So, she wanted to get an epidural, which I totally supported because I don't want to see my wife in pain or anything. Basically what it is, it's a needle that goes into your back and it drips anesthetics or stuff to go ahead and numb all your nerves. So she was basically, she couldn't feel anything from the waist down. So kind of went through that a little bit more, and then, you know, about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So we've been, you know, in the hospital for 22 hours already, no baby yet. It was time for her to really start pushing. So she was pushing and pushing for like, you know, 2.5 hours. And then they were eventually like, all right, well, just push a little bit more here. And then if things don't turn out, we're going to have to go in there and we're going to have to, you know, remove the baby surgically. So she tried, and gosh, my wife is awesome. She's such a champ. I mean, can you imagine, like, doing something like that for 3 hours? I mean, that's really going to take a toll on you. So, you know, around 7 o'clock, they're like, you know what? We're going to have to go ahead and we're going to have to do what's called a cesarean section or C-section, which is that operation. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, basically, you know, you're a few inches below your belly button, and they cut across 6 to 8 inches. Well, if you're a woman, they'll do this. Obviously not for a guy. But what they do is they cut you open, and then they, you know, hold you open with clamps, and then they just bring the baby out that way. So with that, sorry, I have to have some water because I keep coughing quite a bit, and I don't know why. But like, so I lost my train of thought. Okay, so they said that's what they had to do to go ahead and bring him out because he was just too big for him. And so I had to get on scrubs and stuff like that, and I had to sign a form saying I wasn't going to help out with the operation, but I was just going to be there to observe. I'm like, heck yes, I'm going to just be there to observe. It's not like I'm actually going to do anything. So I signed that, and then we go into the room. And, you know, I was kind of freaking out because, you know, my wife's laying here on an operating table and stuff like that. But it was actually kind of cool to see, like, all the nurses and doctors, like, they all had a role, and they knew what it was. And so, you know, it was coming to the actually doing the C-section, they were all, like, darting back and forth, like, hey, I got this all set up, you know, or giving each other statistics, stuff like that, so that way they kind of know what's going on. And they're like, all right, here we go. And, like, 2 minutes later, like, no joke, I hear my son cry for the first time because they just pulled him out. Now, they had a sheet up, you know, in front of my wife and I, so I couldn't see what's going on. My wife's totally awake through all this, but, you know, she wasn't feeling anything, of course, because of the epidural. But I heard him cry for the first time, and I looked over at my wife, and she started crying, and I'm trying to fight back tears too. You know, and I didn't think that I was going to be, like, crying or anything like that, but I got really close to crying, you know, when I heard him for the first time. And then I look over to my right where they had the scales and everything, and, you know, I saw him for the first time, and it was super, super cool because he was like, I don't know, he's just the cutest little guy, and I kind of was worried a little bit because he had a little cone head. Because as you know, a baby's going down the birthing canal, you know, you got to imagine how small of a space that is and how big the baby is, especially on the head, so it, like, compresses it a little bit, which is normal. I didn't know that. But, you know, they were checking him, things like that. Everything looked good, and here's my wife. She's, like, cut open with a giant hole in her stomach. And all she's doing is just looking at my son. I'm like, she's totally in mom mode right now. She doesn't care what's going on with her. She only cares how my son is doing. And, you know, they were doing the things, cleaning him up and stuff like that. And they're like, and they asked me, they're like, do you want to hold him? I'm like, nuh-uh, not until she does first. And they're like, oh, you're a smart man. Remember that, guys. The mom always gets to hold the baby first. So, you know, my wife was still, you know, cut open and stuff like that, and they were stitching her up, and they still put, you know, my son Hiram up by her, so, you know, they could, you know, kind of be holding her, or she could be holding him and stuff like that. And then I finally got a chance to hold him, and that was actually pretty cool. And then they went ahead and they got my wife all stitched up and took her to a hospital room, where we stayed there until this past Thursday. So we were in the hospital from Saturday night till Thursday afternoon. So we were there for quite a while. It was all right. I mean, you know, I was there helping my wife, you know, getting her water and just hanging out with her and stuff like that, which was really cool to be able to spend that much time with her. But you know, that's kind of what happened. I didn't feel bad that my wife had to get cut open. You know, she's got this 6 to 8 inch scar across her stomach. She's going to have for a while. But honestly, in the end, both her and my son are okay. So I'm not too worried about it. But, you know, there is a lot of emotions and stuff like that I experienced that I don't think you can prepare for. You know, so, you know, hearing him cry for the first time was absolutely awesome. And, you know, I love this little guy so much. Like, I'll just sit there and I'll hold him and I'll just be like, wow, this is the awesomest kid I've ever seen. And he's, like, super cute, too. I'll see if I can put some pictures up or something, maybe on my Facebook page of Hiram, so you guys can see what he looks like. But, yeah, I mean, the thing is, too, is it was kind of a huge learning experience, too, because it puts so many different things into perspective. Like, first off, the things that our moms went through for us to come into this world, tell you what, it's a lot more painful and a lot crazier than you guys could possibly imagine. So I've got a lot of respect for moms now, having, you know, been there and seen everything that happens, you know, all the pushing and all the time spent in pain, things like that. So that kind of put a different perspective on things. Plus, as, you know, I sit there and I think about Hiram's future and stuff like that, I really want what's best for him, you know, and so there's stuff where I just want him to stay away from certain things, or just lessons that I've learned over the course of my life that, you know, I want him to learn, or, you know, there are things I don't want him to do. Detlef Schrempf. Nobody strikes fear to the hearts of men like Detlef Schrempf. But there's a lot of things that are just like, as a dad, I don't want my son to do, or I do want him to do. And, you know, as I hold my son, I think, wow, my dad held me the exact same way and thought about the exact same thing. So when there were times I was doing stuff that I shouldn't have, or there were lessons that he wanted to teach me and he was kind of hard on me, like, I understand why he was now, because I'm going to have to do the exact same thing with my son. So it made me realize just how much, like, my parents truly love and care for me, and how, you know, they just wanted to be good parents, and that's why they were kind of, you know, rough on me at times, just like every parent is and stuff like that. But totally changed my life. It really has. And definitely for, you know, everything that's good, too. I mean, I got a lot of fears and stuff like that, which is totally normal. I mean, I just want to be a good dad. I hope that he ends up, you know, loving me as much as I love him, and he turns out to be a good kid. Also worry about how I'm going to pay for everything and stuff like that, which is totally normal, but it's kind of good to know that I feel those things. But just a quick rundown on everything that happened. So a lot of things to celebrate, a lot of things to thank you guys for. So I really do appreciate you guys coming across this channel, helping me reach 10,000 subscribers and 4 million views. I really couldn't do it without you. Don't forget to go ahead and fill out that survey. It's in the description below. That'll definitely help me out, make this channel a little bit better. So you guys are phenomenal people. You really are. I know I say that every single video. That's because I definitely mean it. And I want you guys to know that you guys are great people. I don't want you guys ever to think otherwise. So thanks again for watching. I do appreciate everything. And as always, you guys, I hope you have a good one.